Today on the channel, AEW Unrivaled Series 6 Unboxing and Review. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel as we begin a week of AEW Unrivaled Series 6 unboxings and reviews. And we today start with Rey Fenix, and we'll unbox the rest of them throughout the week. Then stay tuned. At the end of the week, we will have a video with all the figures. We'll put them all together in a video, but at the very end, I'll put my bonus rankings where I rank them from my favorite to least favorite in Series 6. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the old notification bell as you won't want to miss all these videos this week. And like I said, we are starting with Rey Fenix. You always got to start with a masked wrestler or maybe a face-painted wrestler. You guys know what I like, and I like Rey Fenix. So that's where we're starting today. And we're going to do it like we normally do it. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We'll compare it to some past Rey Fenix figures as well. See what we think of some of the changes there. So there we go. So let's take a look at the packaging first. So by now, we know this packaging. I love it. I love that Jazzwares has stuck to this style of packaging. I hope they keep it going this way. I do like that Unmatched is a very similar packaging, but different. It fits the same box size, everything else. For you guys that are putting them on a wall, they'll fit together. But it has a little different coloring, so you know it is the Unmatched and not the Unrivaled. But the Unrivaled is seems to be, fingers crossed, sticking to this layout. I've talked about it on the channel before. Series 6 is where I've tapped out on my min-on-card collection. It's sad to do, but there's just no way anybody can be a min-on-card completist of this line. When you throw in all the chases, the rare, and the exclusives, that's a lot of figures. I mean, people could obviously do it. I guess I could. I'm going to be a completist open with this line. But just the amount of real estate these figures take, and my rule is, for me, and everybody has their own rules, if I can't display my collection, I don't need it. If I don't like it enough to have it on display, I don't need to own this. And that's how I keep myself a little bit sane and keeps me in check, I guess you would say. We all have our own rules. I know some people tote these things away. They look at them for one day and they're toted and never to be seen again. And if that works for you, that works for you. But my rule is if I can't have them on display, I don't need them. And there's just no way with as many figures as we've got. What is he? He's number 50. Number 50, Rey Fenix here. 50 figures in about a year's time. Has it been a year? Probably just about a year. 50 figures. Next year, we're going to have probably 200 and some figures. When you throw the Unmatched and more exclusives into the line, it just gets to be a lot, as you guys are well aware. And I know a lot of other people are tapping out on the min-on-card set as well. And a lot of people are tapping out in general. They're just picking and choosing now. They're not being a completist anymore. And that's the way it goes. It went that way with Mattel. It's went that way with Jax. That's usually how it goes. Everybody starts off with the best of intentions. I'm going to be a completist. And sooner or later, you know, funds or space or whatever gets to you. It's inevitable for everyone, especially if it's a big line. But anyways, there's old Rey. We understand this packaging. We've seen it before. And I like it. I like that it's one uniform packaging from the get-go. I've heard from the past, well, Kyle, what about Mattel? Well, they change all the time. They change every single year. So it's just not quite the same. I like the picture, a little glamour shot there, Unrivaled logo down below, AEW logo up top. Like I said, he is number 50, Rey Fenix. AEW, you got a little glamour shot there. For you guys that put him sideways, you got kind of a little library code there with his picture, number 50, and you put him in order. All Elite Wrestling. I have said in the past, I wish the exclusives, because the packaging is different for those, I wish they were listed as like A, B, C, D, E, and so forth instead of the numbers, because it just doesn't look right when you line them up, when you have a Bubbly sitting here, or the Cody Rhodes, or whatever. That's my opinion, but what do I know? AEW logo at the top, big glamour shot of Rey Fenix right there. Then you got the rest of the lineup down below. We'll be unboxing all of these this week, as you guys are fully aware. AEW logo. What's it say? From Fight for the Fallen, 7/13/2019, Jacksonville, Florida. Series 6 Unrivaled Collection. Watch All Elite Dynamite. Check your local listings. An interesting set here. We'll talk about that each one. Let me get Rey open, though. It's time. It's time to get the old Phoenix man open. I don't know if I've figured out my favorite way to unbox these figures yet, but we're getting there. But I just tear them apart. I just go crazy. There's no saving this package. And I do appreciate that. As you guys know, Mattel, you can easily slice it, pull something out. You can do a figure swap, take it back to Target or Walmart. We see pictures of that all the time. Absolutely disgusting. But you can't really do that with these. I'm sure you can if you take the time, but it's not as easy to do with these as it is with Mattel. So there you go. See you later, Rey Fenix. Get out of here. Time for a little plastic prison shot. Not a lot of accessories, as we just get an extra set of hands with Rey Fenix. So that is a little bit disappointing. But at the same time, I don't really need him with a cheeseburger or a pizza like the Jax days. I guess if he doesn't wear an accessory, don't give him an accessory, I guess is the way to go. The 2 extra hands, I guess, are good enough. He's got kind of karate chop hands here, which is interesting. Very reminiscent of the Mattel big hands that are flared out. These look a little bit more proportioned, still a little bit long if you ask me. It seems like Mattel and Jazzwares both have not got the flat out hands size right. It always seems to be way too big, especially on these littler figures like Rey Fenix and the Ricochets. You know, these guys aren't giants out there. But Rey, he's smiling, he's happy in the plastic prison. He's just a happy guy, happy-go-lucky. See you later. And that's what happens when you wear a mask. You just live a life happier. When people don't know who you are, you go around town, nobody's bothering you for the most part. Is, hey, this guy's in a mask. Nobody knows who he is. So he's just a happy, happy guy. But Rey Fenix, no stranger to the line. We've had Rey in the line in the past. We'll compare it here shortly. We'll also compare it to the Boss Fight edition, which is a sleeper figure, but we'll talk a little bit about that soon. But as far as paint and everything else, I see no issues here. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, this is the first figure I've opened from Series 6, and I've been talking about it probably from Series 2 onward, as my biggest gripe with AEW Jazzwares figures as a whole is their joints are way too loose. We've had some hip problems like Luchasaurus who falls over, but the elbow joint, the integrity of the elbow joint is just not there. It is so loose. I can see kids breaking these off very easily. Let's see, did they fix that? They did not fix that. That's unfortunate. I'm hoping somehow they get the message that they need to tighten up these elbows. They are way too loose. These can be broken off, and I already see mine here. There's already a stress mark in the plastic, and you've seen me open this. I haven't touched anything or anything like that. There's a stress mark right in the joint of the elbow. This just is not going to work for little kids. And I know Jazzwares, they're an all-around, and Jeremy Padawer, they're an all-around company that wants to promote to kids, to everybody, action figure collectors. These are great for collectors, but we always have to remember at the end of the day, there's a lot of kids that like these. There's a lot of kids that get these. And the kids shouldn't be breaking. They should be able to play with their toys within reason. They shouldn't be hammering them together and stuff. But just some of the simple moving of this elbow could easily break this elbow off. I've heard horror stories in the comments, in my YouTube comments, Twitter comments, stuff like that, of kids breaking these off, and even adult collectors breaking these off. So I hope that gets addressed here in the next couple of series. I don't know how long it takes to address that, but they have to see that when they're doing product testing control. I know lines that my company has and stuff. We have people that test the line every 30 minutes. They're checking for integrity and making sure everything's good. You would have to think they're doing that in the factories for these as well. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But this is the gold set. Series 6 Unrivaled seems to be gold. A lot of black and gold coloring. Very interesting. And I know people have said this is the set that's kind of a bit of a letdown, as we got pretty much all re-releases of variants and different color changes. So not a lot of new ground being broken here with Series 6. And guess what? That's the way it's going to go in the future. Every few series, you're going to have some that are very similar to this. That's just the way of the beast. We had it with Jax. We have it with Mattel. It's just kind of the way it goes from time to time. But besides the elbows, let's see. The knees, everything else seems to be pretty good. He's got the typical Jazzwares articulation we're used to at this point. You got the ankles, you got the double jointed knees, you got the thigh swivel, you got the hips, you got the waist, you got the diaphragm, you got the shoulders, the bicep swivel, the elbow, which, gosh, is just so... I just hate it. But then you got the wrists, of course, and then you got the head that is removable. But no extra head with this one, so... nothing to remove. I should mention, you guys know I love masked figures, I love face paint, I love big wrestlers, but I also love colorful tattooed wrestlers. And thankfully, Rey Fenix got some good coloring on his tattoos here. I believe, let's grab it, we'll grab his last figure out. I'm sure it's the exact same everything, and as it should be. You know, his tattoo on his arm here on the new one is a much brighter blue, where it's a duller blue on the older one. we do get a little bit more coloring. I guess they're a little more vibrant, the tattoos on this new one, a lot more vibrant. So we do like that. Obviously, we have a new head sculpt, a new head here. Everything else is pretty much the exact same. It's just a new paint job. This is more of a cheetah type paint job, of course. But not bad. You guys know I'm a sucker for mask tattoos, face paint, stuff like that. So I do like this Rey Fenix a lot. I know some people are saying, you know, it's too soon and it's not a cool enough repaint. And you're entitled to your opinion. I understand how that goes. But for me, I'm okay with this. I'm okay. I understand the game. We need some repaints. You can't have new people every single time. We do know the issues with COVID they had where they got a bunch of people scanned and they couldn't get other people scanned. So that's what caused some of these re-releases. Jeremy has said it ad nauseum online that, hey, we're going to get everybody under the sun. We're going to get announcers. We're going to get referees. They're going to get to everybody, but you're definitely going to have the Lucha Brothers, the Codys, the Jerichos, the MJFs, the heavy hitters of AEW. You're going to get them on a pretty regular clip between either an exclusive, a 2-pack, a 4-pack, they're unmatched, unrivaled. They're going to mix those guys up. It's no different than the Jax days with Rey Mysterio, John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, even Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy for a time. You'd get those guys, they'd smoke and mirrors. They do, here's Adrenaline, here's Ruthless Aggression, here's Ring Rage, here's an exclusive. There was always those guys on the pegs, always coming out. And that's understandable because that's what people want. They want the stars. As much as we want a QT Marshall figure. Not all the kids in the world want a QT Marshall figure, but us collectors, we want somebody different. We're good with that. So there it is. Here is the boss fight, Rey Fenix. Now, this Rey Fenix boss fight could be my favorite figure of Rey Fenix. This is a phenomenal figure. The coloring of the tattoos is phenomenal. The articulation is phenomenal. What brings this one down is the height, unfortunately. I just wish this thing was a hair taller. I wish it scaled with these. It's interesting, boss fight. I think their basic line series with Taya and Juventud, I pre-ordered those moons ago. They were supposed to ship in March. I haven't heard a word since. So I don't know when those are going to ship, if they're still going to ship, what the heck's going on with those. But hopefully these and their basic line of the boss fight figures, we get those more in scale. I hope they take that back to the drawing board. Maybe that's causing the delay if we're lucky, because that's what we want. We want one universe we can put all of our figures together in. At least that's what I want. I'm pretty sure most of you guys do as well. You can tell me in the comments. But this Rey Fenix, very strong for me. However, I can see a lot of people passing, and there's a lot of collectors out there saying, I just want one Rey Fenix. I just need one Rey Fenix. This one might be good enough for you. You might be passing this one. Or maybe you're buying this one and say, well, I don't need this one anymore. I'm going to sell it on eBay or whatever. It's up to you. But is this a must-have? Yes, if you're a completist. Yes, if you're a Rey Fenix fan. But no, if you're just buying one, if you're just picking and choosing, I could see this one being skipped. And like I said, I think Series 6 may be the slowest selling set in AEW Unrivaled history at this time. We'll see. We'll see how it breaks out. We'll see when it hits the store pegs, how it'll clamor out and all that. But that's how I feel it. But a Rey Fenix, a good figure. The biggest problem I have with it is, of course, the elbows. So there you go. Rey Fenix, AEW Unrivaled Series 6. So there you have it. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel as we continue unboxing the AEW Unrivaled Series 6. And today, we've got Penta, and you guys know I love Penta. Face paint, mask, colorful tattoos, sign me up all day long. I'm all in for this. And we're going to do it like we normally do these reviews. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We'll see where it goes from there. We'll also compare him to some of his prior figures. So be prepared for all that. As I see my dog Lemmy looking at me weird, I just could sense his presence. And that's what it was. I don't know what he's looking at, but you enjoy, Lemmy. This is going to be one for you. I'm dedicating this review to you. But here he is. There's old Penta right there, looking only like he can look. He stole our heart many moons ago. And like I said, we'll compare it to his previous AEW figure. We'll also compare it to his boss fight figure, see what we like. Series 6, AEW Unrivaled, the series of gold. Like El Dorado, it's the series of black and gold. We got a matching Rey Fenix with this one, so it's really cool to get the Lucha Brothers in the same set, in matching gear. You know, there's always two ways to go. We've seen it go all kinds of ways between Mattel, Jax, AEW. You get a figure You get a tag team split up by series. I hate it when they do that. If you're going to have a tag team in a single series, put them in the exact same series. That's what I always think. But I can see the company saying, well, if I put one in the next series, that'll make people get those. But it'll also make a lot of people mad. And then that next series might not happen, and then you're left with just one. And we've seen that in the past as well. But we know the packaging by now. The gold, very Jakks Classic Superstar inspired, like I always say. Luckily, it doesn't have the star of the Jakks Classic Superstars, which always was tough to get mint on card. But you got a little glamour shot right down there, the Unrivaled logo. No real accessories with this one either, just an extra set of hands, just like his brother Rey. So take that for what you will. Got the gold, the black packaging, like I said, the gold background as well. He is number 49 in the line, AEW Unrivaled. There you got a little glamour shot with the number 49. All Elite Wrestling on the side, nothing too special there. All those fun warnings that everybody just loves on the bottom. And then the back, you got the big glamour shot of the brothers right there. The facsimile autograph up top. AEW Unrivaled logo there. The J-hook. Then you got the rest of Series 6 down below. And I got to imagine this is, let's see, Fight for the Fallen 7/13/2019. So that coincides with Rey Fenix. Makes sense. They're a tag team. Both from the same era. Taking a look at the figure, I don't see any paint application issues. I don't see any problems at all. So let's bust him open. He does have that plastic around his waist, which we've seen with a lot of figures over the last year with AEW, of course. So as you guys know, I just rip into these like a madman. Just a madman. See you later. Get out of here. See you later up high towards the sky. How about a little plastic prison? There he is. Old Penta, looking only like he can look. He stole my heart many moons ago when I met him in person. He was up here for, I believe it was the Waterloo, Iowa Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame tournament, and he was in that tournament. I believe he maybe even wrestled Ricochet in that tournament, pre-Ricochet, obviously. Those were the days, as some might say. 2 extra hands. Pop those out. Boy, we got a very greasy packaging here. I don't know what's up with that. That's on the back, which is weird. So that tells you it's something plasticky, but very, very greasy. Hopefully the figure's not greasy. There he goes. See you later up high. All right. He feels like, he is greasy. What do we got going? At least it's not sticky, but it's greasy. You guys let me know if yours is greasy, but mine is. He's got kind of KFC bucket of chicken greasiness going on here. I don't know what happened there. Can I get this plastic off? And that's the easiest way I've found to get the waste plastic. As you guys know, you just pull these apart, pull his little skirt off, and guess what? Just pop him right back in. Pop them back together. So that is a cool feature of the Jazzwares figures. You can mix and match. You customizers out there, you can change body types, move things around, really making the customization easy. I do like that, but I've always talked about it on the channel. I was never one of those people. I'm such a purist of my figures. This is the way it was made to be. Maybe it's lack of imagination. I just think people are sometimes absolute maniacs. Because my biggest fear, I guess, if I start moving figures and pieces around, one day Kyle hits like 62 years old, or hopefully 59 and a half. We'll see if that happens, but probably 62. When it comes time for Kyle to retire, and then he says, you know what, it's time to sell this whole collection. I'm going to move into the forest, never to be seen again. Lemmy will still be there. He'll be about 40 years old by that time, but it'll be all right. We'll figure a way to keep Lemmy alive forever, and I'll just move out to the woods and retire and sell everything. But that's, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but I was going somewhere. But when I do want to sell all these, I want to make sure my figures are all intact, because I want to sell, here's Penta Series 6. I don't want to go back to say, is that the hand from Series 6? Is this the hand? I could just see myself getting mixed up in my figures, long story short. That's just what I see, so I don't like to do that. But I know a lot of you guys do, and some people don't care about that, and you should. You know, you got to set your own rules, what I always say. I don't know why he's so greasy, though. It's kind of gross. But we're going to power through. We're going to power through. You guys know I love bright tattoos. I love masks. I love face paint. I love big wrestlers. Well, he's got 3 of the 4. So he's already in my wheelhouse. You guys know I'm going to like this one. I love the bright tattoo work. I mean, this figure just stands out. This is toyetic, as the word gets thrown around a lot. But this is a definition of toyetic to me. I mean, this just looks cool. If you're a little kid, you want wrestling figures, you're flipping through. Nothing against MJF, nothing against Chris Jericho in this line, but if I'm a little kid, who's catching my eye from the set? Penta Jr. Maybe Rey Fenix, but Penta first. Just like the last series with Luchasaurus. That's catching my eye. I'm taking that home all day long. And this is toyetic. This looks amazing. This is one of those ones where you're looking at a whole collection. This catches your eye. You say, whoa, who is that? That thing looks pretty cool. So I do like that for that aspect of it. We're going to do the dangerous elbow trick. I'm going to check the elbows on this one. I got to think it's going to be similar to Rey Fenix, which is going to be disappointing. And it is. I just don't understand. And that is such a weak elbow joint. I mean, you can just go back and forth. Just a little pressure, snap. I can just see it happening. So once again, that is the downfall. Lucky for me, I don't play with my figures. I'm not wrestling with them. They get moved around, posed a little bit for these reviews, and then I put them on my shelf and display them how I want them, and that's pretty much it, which is good for me. Bad for little Jimmy out there who's probably going to break this toy, unfortunately, if he gets a chance with it. But love the colors on this one. The mask, he's got the dragon on the side. You got the white face paint, kind of skull beneath the mask, which I think is the coolest thing ever. Having face paint under a mask, man, next level. Kudos to Penta for that. I do love the gold and the black. It is really growing on me, and I, like a lot of you guys out there, we saw all the prototypes for Series 6 and said, well, what's with all the gold and black? What is going on? Are these guys Iowa Hawkeye fans or something? But no, we came across it, and I like this. I like this Penta a whole lot. Let's grab some of the other ones. Here's the boss fight one we talked about with his brother Rey Fenix. Another very solid figure. I do like this one a lot. Boy, I think I probably like it more than the Series 6. However, I have my issues with the height, as you guys know. I think they should be a little bit taller figure. Hopefully that's fixed in the future. And then you got the first Penta figure we got. Gosh, I don't know. It's so tough to choose between these. It's really choosing between your children, because I like all three of these. Black and white always pops on a figure. Very difficult to get the colors right on black and white, but I think it looks tremendous. But the gold and black looks tremendous too, and this is the shiny new toy, and sometimes those do win out. And then the red and black looks good. No matter what, so far, Penta has really hit a slam dunk with all of his figures. I don't think you can go wrong choosing any of these, and I really can't choose. I mean, I think it just depends on the day which one I like best. But this gold one is extremely solid. The tattoo work looks to be identical from the old one, where we saw with Rey Fenix, this seems like the coloring got a little bit clearer, a little bit darker, where they were a little light on the first release Rey Fenix. I don't see any of that going on with Penta there, but a tremendous figure. You can't go wrong with masks, face paint, and colorful tattoos, if you ask me. So I'm all in. I do strongly recommend this one. Pick it up if you can. So there it is, Pentagon Jr. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel as we continue unboxing the AEW Unrivaled Series 6 figures. And today on the channel, we've got MJF, another character that is no stranger to the AEW Unrivaled series. We've had him before, we've had him as a chase figure. We're going to get a lot more in the future, I guarantee it. We'll get one in a suit. We'll get all kinds of different MJF figures in the future. There's no doubt about it. He's probably their biggest young star. That's my opinion. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the future is so bright for him, he's got to wear shades, some might say. Future champion, I would have to think. So really cool to get him back in here. I know there's a lot of grumbling about Series 6, and we've talked about in some of the other reviews how all these guys, except for Hikaru Shida, have been released before. It feels too soon to get repaints and stuff. Well, we do know with COVID, it hurt getting some of the face scans done, the technology and stuff, so we had to have some repaints. I think that'll be adjusted in the future, but make no mistake, the Jerichos, the MJFs, Christian once he gets going, Cody Rhodes, of course. We're going to get these guys on a pretty usual clip between the exclusives, the rare chase editions, the unmatched, the unrivaled. There's going to be a Cody out there pretty much at all times in one way or another for people. I think we'll probably get an LJ and MJF one of these days in one of the unmatched lines. So I think we're going to see a lot more of these guys, but we'll get everybody. With that much figures as they're pumping out, this is figure number 47. I don't know, they're in their 50s now. In 1 year span, you're going to get everybody you want. Just wait and see. That's just the way it goes. Think of Jax. Go back to the day with Jax. If you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it, some might say. But Jax, between the exclusives, the classic superstars, the Ring Rage, the Ruthless Aggression, the Treacherous Trios, what else am I missing? The 2-packs. And then the 2-packs, adrenaline. You got so many figures all the time. There was always new figures every time you turn the corner at your local Kmart, Toys R Us, Walmart, Target, whatever. That's how we're going to see a lot of AEW. Probably not to the Jakks degree, but boy, pretty close. I think we're going to have more figures out on a direct clip than Mattel even, and that's throwing in their basics and everything else. As AEW Jazzwares is not scared to do an exclusive. We've noticed that. Seems like we have a new exclusive all the time. We've seen leaked images of 2-packs, 4-packs, accessory packs. There's just a lot going on in this line, and that's why a lot of people have tapped out, as we've discussed before as well, including myself. I've tapped out on a min on card collection. It's just, if you can't display it, I don't need it. That's my rule. So there you go. But we're going to do it like we normally do it in all these reviews. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We'll see where it goes from there. But there's old MJF. He's keeping up the tradition of this line. It's all about the black and gold. It's the black and gold line. And the packaging black and gold as well. And then you got the little MJF down here with his scarf on. Rival logo, of course. Number 47 in Series 6. AEW on the side. You got the gold background. And AEW over there. And you got him right up there. You got the whole rest of the line there. Promoting the TV show. Let's see where this is from. This is from Double or Nothing, 5/23/2020, Jacksonville, Florida. Beautiful this time of year, Jacksonville, Florida. You got referee Aubrey Edwards hanging out in the background as well. We're getting her with a ring here in August. We'll see what I do with that. I still have not put together my Kenny Omega ring. I do have a loose Kenny Omega figure. I really just want the Aubrey Edwards figure, so I don't know. But I feel I need one ring in my collection. Just not sure exactly where I'm going to put it or how I'm going to display it. As we all know, those rings are very big. But anyways, but yeah, black and gold, very much like the Chris Jericho we saw before. Not a lot of bells and whistles with this one. It's just a pretty plain Jane figure. You get a microphone. No, oh, you do get extra hands, I guess. So you get extra hands with him at least, but no really detailed scarf, no coat, no jacket. I don't know what else you're going to get with him, but it just seems a little bit plain. I guess I'm surprised they don't go the Jakks route of the, let's throw a ring bell in here, or let's throw a chair in here. By not doing that, obviously, it keeps costs down, so maybe that's part of it there. But anyways, let's open it up. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on here. I'm not sure if this is going to be near the top of my favorites on here. I kind of like Jericho, though. That Jericho figure surprised me. See you later. See you later. Little plastic prison. There he is. Kind of a weird look in the package. He's kind of got a little bit of a crouch to him. Almost like a Mr. Kennedy approach with that microphone there. I do feel the AEW microphones for the figures are a little small. I don't know if we're just so used to the Mattel Jakks ones that are a little bit bigger that these seem strange to me. But it does seem strange. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? You think the microphone could be... Whoa, a microphone just shot out. I don't know where that went. Oh man, I could be down a microphone, and I'm such a crazy person. I would, if I can't find that microphone somewhere, because it's so small, it's going to be hard to find. If I can't find that, I'll have to buy another figure. Oh, the cursed life I live. But holy cow, that thing went shooting out, and we're not going to be talking about that microphone because I'll probably never find it. See you later. I think it hit the wall, though, so I can start there, work my way down from the wall. If I find it, it'll be in the glamour shots of the pictures we do, so that's how you'll know if I found it or not. But we got MJF here. I do love he has a fist hand. I talk about a lot of reviews. He-Man, Marvel Legends, whatever. I feel like every figure that fights needs to have at least one fisted hand with it. It just makes sense to me. Some of these AEW figures have not had fisted hands, which just seems strange to me. Because if I'm wrestling, yes, the fist isn't legal in wrestling. But you know what? You got to use your fist every once in a while. You're not going to get disqualified. We see it all the time. But he does have his ring from the, what was that, the Battle Bowl or whatever they call that with AEW. But he does have that on there. I believe before that was only on the Chase edition. So this is a way for everybody to get this. So that is kind of a cool feature. Elbow-wise, he does have the rough elbows, and there's even extra plastic on mine. However, that being said, this one does feel stronger than Jericho, stronger than Penta, stronger than Fenix. I don't know if I just got lucky or if it's something with the molds with these. This one, it's still loose, but it's not to the degree we've seen in the past. So that is a win. I will take that. I'm not sure about this MJF head sculpt on this one. It looks like him, but it just looks like there's just it's off just a tad. And I can't explain what it is, but it just looks like it's off a tad. But the hair sculpt is really good. So you've got the little red rooster dude going on, like he's young Terry Taylor. Maybe we can turn this into a Terry Taylor custom. Very shiny plastic on this. for the most part, they seem to have gotten the skin tones figured out. We kind of saw, was it Series 3 and Series 4? It kind of went back and forth, and I thought Series 4 took a step back from Series 3. I think I got my numbers right off the top of my head. But this one looks pretty good. But the head sculpt's off a little bit, though. I will say that. He does have that lion tattoo on his arm. That looks good. He does have the forearm tape, forearm guards in his traditional, was it Burberry pattern or whatever. We talked about the black and the gold trunks. Got the MJF on the back. Got MJF on his boots, black boots. But a very plain Jane figure at the end of the day. We got 2 gripping hands. I don't understand. You're basically getting 2 of the exact same hands here. And that seems like a waste to me. I would have, instead of having 2 gripping hands for the left, couldn't you have given us an open hand? Maybe it's, you always have to have a fisted hand. Maybe you should always have an open hand too, and then 2 gripping hands. That should be the standard. That's where you start if you're putting extra hands. Then if you're going to put more hands in there, go from there. But I think you always need 1 hand that's open, 1 that's closed, and you need 2 that grip. I think most people would agree with that. If you're choosing hands, those are the 4 you start with. And Jazzware's a little interesting with that, so I don't know what's up with that one. By no means is this going to be my favorite in the set. Nothing against MJF, but it is just pretty plain Jane here. There's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of bells and whistles. There's no mask. There's no face paint. There's no big colorful tattoos. He's not a big figure. He doesn't have a ton of accessories. So there's not a lot here. If you had that other MJF, that might be plenty good for you. I can see a lot of people. I got that one right here. It is more colorful. It does have a scarf. Maybe you missed out on this one, so I could see maybe getting this one. Maybe you're new to the line, something like that. But I think those that pick and choose, those that are saying, I just need 1 of every figure or just a couple of every figure, you could probably sit this one out and you'll be just all right. This is the one to get outside of the Chase Rare Edition. With the scarf on there, I just think that's the one. This one kind of brings it over the top a little bit. I am a little bit surprised they didn't give the scarf with this one, but this does represent that night in Jacksonville, that hot summer night in Jacksonville. So maybe he didn't have the scarf that night, and that could be really good attention to detail, better than I know, because I don't remember off the top of my head if he had the scarf that night, but I think he usually does. But we'll see. But MJF, he's an up-and-comer. He's one of the probably the biggest heel in AEW, honestly. So we're going to get a lot more MJF. So if you do skip this one, there's going to be more in the future. Or if you didn't get this one, you might need to pick this one up. So just depends where you sit in your collection and what your rules are with this MJF. That's my opinion. But an okay figure. It looks pretty good. It's just not going to be at the top of my list in Series 6. Welcome, everyone. Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another AEW Unrivaled Series 6 unboxing and review. And today, we've got Chris Jericho, really the guy that kicked AEW off and put him on the map, if you ask me, and a guy that's no stranger to AEW Unrivaled line, as we did get him in Series 1, 1A and 1B, technically. We also got him in the little bit of the bubbly pack, which really is a strong pack, but I think it looks better mint on card than open, because he does have that very light skin. I don't know, I almost called it the light skin disease from AEW, but not quite that. It's just a paint application issue, and they did correct that in the 1B series. But really, this is the first corrected paint, corrected skin tone color, mainstream, on the pegs figure of Chris Jericho in the AEW line. I know some people have said, we don't need this Jericho. Well, guess what? We're going to get tons of Jericho. We know we got an Amazon exclusive Jericho to come. I got to think we're going to get an LJN Jericho for sure. We're going to get more Chases. We're going to get more Jerichos, because he is, by all intents and purposes, the most well-known AEW wrestler there is. I mean, I would have to think he's just had such a long storied career between ECW, WCW, WWF, WWE, AEW, Japan. He's been everywhere. He's been around a long time, and he's one of the pillars, one of the Mount Rushmores of AEW at this time. There's no doubting that. But we're going to do it like we normally do it. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We'll even compare him to the 1B Jericho, because that is the better one with the better corrected coloring. It should match this coloring. We'll see if it actually does. But let's take a look at the packaging first. We got Jericho with the AEW title belt as his accessory. No extra heads, no hands, no soft goods. Really a plain Jane figure. He did need that title belt. One thing is good is, and we've seen it with Jax, we see it with Mattel, we get title belts on a consistent basis. So you're going to see this AEW title probably every couple of series, just to get it out there. It makes sense. It's also a selling point for some figures that maybe wouldn't sell as well. Maybe, you know, later on down the line when Jericho's had many releases, they might put another Jericho out there, and people might say, I don't need that Jericho, but then he might come with a belt or a special accessory as a point to make people buy him that maybe would not. So that's just a tactic out there. You got to do everything you can to get all the sales you need. Like we said with AEW, they've been flying off the pegs for the most part. I know my area isn't the same as everybody else, and we always talk about the Houston, Chicago, LA, New York, Philadelphia, the major areas. You got so many people, you're going to be having a tough time to find any figures. But you come to the Midwest where things are more a little bit spread out. I mean, I have like 12 Walmarts and 8, 10 Targets, something like that in my driving area from where I live. I can find everything. I don't know if there's ever a figure that has absolutely defeated me at retail. I'm also a different cat because guess what? I love the thrill of the hunt. I love the disappointment hitting stores. I don't value my time enough. I really should value my time more, but I've been hunting for figures since I was a little kid, so I like it. Sometimes those disappointing and those hot garbage days in the stores, those absolutely suck, but then when you hit gold, it makes those days all worth it, and that's how I view figure hunting. It's a sport for me. It's a sport. It is. It's no different than golf. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Golf, bowling, figure hunting, they should all be Olympic sports at this point. But anyways, where are we going? Where are we going with this? But there's Jericho down at the bottom there. You got a little glamour shot. He's got his old handkerchief, just wearing that. That was kind of his look. He still does that a little bit. Looks a little weird to me, but hey, who am I to judge? People probably think I look weird too. AEW logo up top. We know the familiar packaging. We talked about Jericho. He's got the belt. You got that gold background. This is the series of the gold, the black and gold. As we know, he's got the black and gold outfit going on. He is number 45 in the line. You got the AEW logo. AEW logo on this side, warnings down there, nobody cares about. And then you got the back, you got the old glamour shot up top, the old autograph, the AEW logo, promoting the rest of Series 6. Let's see, this picture is from, and this figure is from Revolution 2/29/2020, Chicago, Illinois. Watch AEW All Elite Wrestling Dynamite. Check your local listings. Okay, I think I will. All right, let's get down to the old brass tacks. Let's see what's going on with this Jericho figure. Let's see if it's everything our dreams and hopes were made of. We'll pop him out. You guys know I open these like an absolute maniac. There's no going back once we start. See you later. Goodbye. Oh, we got a little piece. See you later. How about a little plastic prison? There's old Jericho. He's got his belt. He's got himself, and that's all he needs. That's all he needs. All right, let's punch it out. See you later. Goodbye. All right, how we got this belt? Oh, we got a little rubber band action. Let me cut this rubber band off. I should keep it because it looks good with the belt kind of draped over him like that. This rubber band is all over the place. Oh, we got 2 rubber bands. He's a 2 rubber band guy. They're holding this in. Like I said, I should have probably saved these, but, you know, it is what it is. AEW belt we've had before. The plastic on this is extremely thin. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could literally tear this if I really wanted to. I wish they would strengthen up that a little bit. But it is what it is. You got the AEW title. We've seen this before, but it's always good to have these. As you guys know, when the title changes and stuff, it's not a bad thing to have some extra title belts of any title belt, as you can move them around to different figures and stuff like that. For the most part, a good title belt. I am not a title belt purist. I know there's really fancy aftermarket belts you can buy that people make and stuff like that. That's not for me. I don't like spending $20 to $30 just on a title belt. I like figures. I like figures. I like the action figures. I'm not going to spend more than an action figure for the belt. That's just me. I know some of you guys do that, though. And it's whatever trips your trigger, as they say. Holy cow, the elbow on this one is the worst one yet. Extremely loose. They got to find a way to fix those elbows. I'm a broken record at this point, but I guess if somebody's got to say it, because we need to get these things fixed. And that's just it's just a critique. I mean, it's what I'm seeing here. It's not dogging the product at all. I think they could just easily improve these figures, all these figures, if they can just strengthen up those elbows. I just don't even me who just poses them a couple of times and puts them away, I feel scared with this. I can't imagine if I was in my playing days as a kid. And I was gentle with my toys, but I could see some of these arms breaking off, especially this Jericho that is extremely loose out of the package. It almost needs to be heated up and remolded in, as that pin is just nowhere near strong enough on this one. But that's the way it goes. We've been seeing it, and nothing's changed yet. I know action figures are a big ship. It's a big ship to turn. It's a lot different than food products. And that's where kind of my world is. Food products are really easy to change. If there's an ingredient bad or whatever, everything's made every single day. They're not made in huge batches. It's a fresh line. You can change things on a whim. Figures a lot tougher. You got to get the notes in and the changes and all that. So I get it, but man, we got to get this fixed. I hope Series 7, I can tell you guys, they finally fixed the elbows. We're turning that ship. I don't know if that'll happen, but I do like this Jericho. First impressions, I love the tattoo work. I think the colorful tattoos really pop on these figures. We said it with Rey Fenix. We said it with Penta. I like this a lot on Jericho. These are amazing tattoo work here. And it seems weird with Jericho. I just still, when I picture Jericho in my head, maybe it's just because I'm an old man, I don't picture tattoos on Jericho. It just seems so weird to me. I don't know if he has the Halloween tattoo on here, because you guys know I love my heavy metal, and I love some Halloween, and that's Jericho's favorite. He actually does have the Iron Maiden tattoo. He does have Eddie there. I do see the AC/DC cannon on there. Oh, we got the And Justice for All Metallica tattoo on there as well. Doesn't he have the Rolling Stones tongue tattoo? I don't see that on here, but I do see Eddie. I see AC/DC. I see... Oh, I do see the pumpkin from Halloween on here. I wonder if they even got the Striper tattoo as well. So they did a pretty good job with these tattoos. I don't know how, I've never looked at Jericho's arm. I've never grabbed it when I met him and said, hey, let me study your tattoos. But I think this is what they are. And I do like the idea of them doing that. Oh, you got the Queen tattoo as well. So I like that a lot. I don't know if there's legalities in that. I know we've had issues with Randy Orton's tattoos in video games and stuff. I don't know if there's legalities between the Iron Maiden camp, or if Iron Maiden would really even care. Rod Smallwood, I don't know if he'd go over after Jericho. I think they're kind of buddies. But you never know. But I do like that attention to detail. I've never really studied these tattoos before. And me being a metalhead and knowing what these are, some people are like, why does he have this pumpkin? Well, it's from the pumpkin is from the band Halloween, one of Germany's finest metal bands. I want out, they once said. Check out Halloween. I don't know about Striper. Striper's never really done a whole lot for me. I'm just not a Striper guy. AC/DC, I think, overrated. Nothing against them, but just for me, I don't think... I like them. I got all their stuff, but they're nowhere near my top 10 favorite bands of all time. Queen, very underrated. I think Queen's a weird band where everybody knows Queen, everybody knows the hits, but they got some really deep cuts that maybe aren't as well known, especially in America. So Queen is a little underrated, if that's a possible thing. And then we all know about Metallica. And Justice for All is where Kyle joined the Metallica party. I absolutely loved And Justice for All. Then I went back and I found Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, Kill 'Em All. Kill 'Em All changed my life. It's still, to this day, my favorite Metallica album, which is crazy to people, because a lot of people either say Masters of Puppets or the Black Album. Well, 12-year-old, 11-year-old, whatever it was, Kyle, when he got the Black Album, he shed a little tear. He was one of those guys, and I was really young at the time, but it was just, it screams sellout for Metallica, the Black Album. I get it. I understand why it happened. I'm sure they're happy. That made them a household name, everything else. It just was not for me. It's right with Saint Anger. It's probably one of my least favorite Metallica albums. As sacrilegious as that is to some people out there, it's just the way I feel. I do love Enter Sandman, though. I did love that song from the get-go, and then I guess the Sandman wrestling to it just, it stole my heart and never let go, and Sandman put that extra cherry on top. It is one of my favorite Metallica songs, but the rest of the album just doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. And Halloween has an amazing career. They just got a new album out. They've got all three singers back in the band. I saw them pre-COVID with all three singers in Chicago. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. You got to check out some Halloween and check out some Gamma Ray while you're at it. It's getting off into the metal talk. And then AC/DC, I could take them, I could leave them. You know, that's just me. But anyways, back to Jericho. He does have the scarf on him, which is a cool accessory. He seems to wear that scarf all the time now. That's kind of his thing. But nothing else. No scarves, no coat, no jacket, no hat. We just get the title belt. So this is a bit of a plain Jane Jericho, but I know there's a lot of Jericho completists out there. You got to get this. If you're a Jericho fan, you got to get this. If you're an AEW completist, you got to get this. This fits a lot of collectors' different niches out there. And then, you know, you got to compare him to the first Jericho, which is a bit of a different Jericho. This is like that Painmaker Jericho. Is that what they called him? The Painmaker? So it is a little different Jericho. So I feel everybody really needs this. And Jericho's the master of reinventing himself into different personas and stuff. And that's really hard for somebody to do that doesn't have face paint masks and stuff that they can, like the Ultimate Warrior can change his look a lot. it stays base, but it looks different. You can get all kinds of different toys out there. Jericho does that with no face paint or any of that kind of stuff. It's different coats, different hats. I'd love to see the face paint Jericho make an appearance one of these days. Maybe we'll get that. But a strong Jericho. Elbows aside, this is better than expected. And we always talk about it on the channel, better than expected is a great thing. Because, you know, you don't have super high expectations. You think this maybe is a pass. This is a good figure. It's a good plain Jane wrestling Jericho. If I was a kid playing, this would be my interview, kind of on the side stage Jericho. This would be my playing Jericho. Hopefully I wouldn't break his arm off, but this would be the playing Jericho. So I would be all in on this one. And I'm all in right now. So I like this a lot. And I like the skin tone. The skin tone seems to be better. Even the 1B is better than the 1A, but this is even better than this one. So I do prefer this one skin tone. Gun to my head, you only have to have one Jericho. As cool as this one is with the accessories, I would go with this Jericho. I think it does look better. The face, the sculpt, everything else looks better. I mean, I guess you could customize. You could put this this body and this coat and stuff on this Jericho if you really wanted to. So that's the genius thing of Jazzware is you can mix and match and play and do all that kind of stuff. That's not for me, but I know it is for some of you guys. But a very, very strong one, AEW Unrivaled, Chris Jericho. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel as we continue our unboxings of AEW Jazzware's Unrivaled Series 6. And today, we turn our attention to Hikaru Shida, the lone female in Series 6. We haven't gotten a lot of females in the AEW Jazzware's line. We have had Brandy 1A, 1B, and we've also had my girl Rio. She stole my heart, never let go, dances across the sand and dances across our heart. Rio does every single day on the channel, especially in my figure hunting videos, as it's nice to see my girl Rio out at the stores. It'll be interesting though, once AEW Series 6 starts hitting the pegs, will Rio still be on the shelves? Will she be on the shelf at the same time as Shida? I hope so. I hope she never leaves. It's nice visiting a friend when I go to the stores. But maybe Shida will take Rio's place. Will she be a peg warmer? As we historically know, female figures most of the time are peg warmers. But this Shida figure looks very solid, at least from what I'm seeing in here in the package. Where the Rio, a lot of us had our doubts from the get-go on that one, as the face scan didn't quite work out so well. But this Shida looks pretty solid. So it'll be interesting. That's kind of the fun. You know, it's fun hunting the figures, but it's also fun seeing who the peg warmers are and what happens and who goes to clearance, who doesn't. It's all part of the magic of the action figure hunt game. That is for sure. But in this review, we're going to do it like we normally do it. We're going to take a look at the packaging, talk about it, unbox it, talk about it, compare it to Rio, and see where it goes from there. So let's take a look at old Shida. We know the packaging by now, gold and black attack, and we got to say Shida, really the only one in the line of Series 6 that doesn't have black or gold gear on, basically. So it's a little interesting there. We got the Shida glamour shot down in the corner there, the Unrivaled logo. Shida comes with the women's title, which is cool. She's beautifully posed in the package behind that goldish background. She is number 48 in the set, and a part of Series 6, of course. AEW logo there. Got the plain side there, and then, of course, the warnings nobody cares about. And then you got the back. And she's open for business. I don't know what's going on in this picture. She's just hammering it out. Who's she hitting there? I think that's Nyla Rose, I believe. Taking it to old Nyla Rose. And then you got the rest of the group down there in Series 6. And this is based on Double or Nothing 5/23/2020 Jacksonville, Florida. Those hot Jacksonville nights. But a pretty cool background there. A nice picture, glamour shot up top. In the package, I don't see any paint application issues. I did say she does come with the title belt. She does have that little plastic wrapping around her waist, so we'll have to get that out as well. So there we go. Just taking a look, soaking it in, drinking it in, as a young Chris Jericho would say. Let's get her open. Let's get her out of the old plastic prison. See you later. Whoa, losing pieces. You guys saw the disaster that was the MJF review. That microphone shot, who knows where it went. See you later up high. All right, the old plastic prison. There she is. Looking only like she can look. Looking like she's ready to take on Rio. Maybe she'll turn heel and face Rio. We don't see a lot of Rio anymore, though. It's unfortunate. I think she went back to Japan. Maybe she'll be back soon. Who knows? We missed Rio, that little dynamite girl. Pop her out here. See you later. There it is. All right, what do we got going on here? So she is locked in. So we do got some rubber bandage going on here with the title belt, much like we saw with Chris Jericho. She's got two of them. Look at her go. She's a 2 rubber band girl. Cut that out. There it is. Gosh, we got all kinds of stuff on her. So we got these rubber bands. There's that. And then we got to pull her little plastic skirt off here, hopefully. Maybe. Hopefully. Can I get the... Whoa! There it is. Got it. A little different body style on this one. I almost thought I broke it for a second. Wouldn't that be something? Just breaking that Shida figure. Oh, that would have been horrible. So I don't know. I don't know about this one. We got suspenders going on. I don't know. What do you guys think about suspenders? You know, Steve Urkel really wore the suspenders best, if you ask me. It's kind of a weird outfit. The suspenders are a little baggy at the top, the plastic. It's not as tight as I would like, if that's the right word. I would like a tighter suspender. It kind of bunches up here, which makes it look a little strange. Also, the paint applications on her chest right here, a different color plastic than the others, so that stands out. At first I thought there was a plastic wrap there. It's not. It's just a little bit more of a grayer plastic. How are the limbs here? I thought we were a little loose, but no, they seem to be tight. She's got the red and yellow. She's a young Hulkamaniac at heart. They did get some extra coloring in her hair in the back, which is kind of neat. She's got a little bit of purple and stuff on the tips, but a tremendous face sculpt on this one. As we saw with Rio, went a little south with Rio's head sculpt. The rare Chase edition of Rio looked a heck of a lot better than the regular release Rio, which seems a little strange, but it is what it is at this point. This head scan is really good. It's not smiling, it's not angry, it's just kind of a middle-of-the-road face scan, which isn't a bad idea to go with. And this looks good. I think this is a very good female. This may be the best female figure in the line. Brandy was all right, but she didn't stand very well, and Brandy's been out. She just had a child. She didn't really wrestle, hasn't done a whole lot. So out of all the female wrestlers we've received so far, this is probably the best one. I'm a little bit worried about the elbows. Obviously it's a female figure. She has a much skinnier arm than her male counterparts. So this pin right here, I could just see things going south in a hurry. So that is one watch out. If you're out there playing and posing too hard, be careful. Don't destroy your figure. Don't break it. Hopefully we get those fixed in future releases, but we've been saying that for the last 3 series, so I don't know if it'll happen or not. But not a terrible figure. She does come with the title belt. We've seen this before with Rio. It is kind of a little off-centered a little bit. The wave in it looks a little strange. They don't line up. I don't know if that's just how the belt is. I've never seen it in hand up close, of course. We do got it with Rio here. So yeah, I don't know. It's the same exact belt from Rio as you would expect. And then we got Rio, of course. She's dancing across all of our hearts every single day. She's much smaller than Shida as she should be. I think she's only like 5'1" or 5 feet tall. 95 pounds, I think she is. It's crazy. My 10-year-old daughter is bigger than Rio. My 10-year-old daughter is 5'1". 5'1". Can you believe that? She's going to be an absolute giant. My dad's 6'8". My wife's mom's 6'1". My wife's 5'10". I'm 6'1". We're a land of giants, and I'm the runt of my family's litter. I'm the smallest guy in my whole family, so we got height on our side. Hopefully my daughter picks up volleyball or basketball. She doesn't like sports at all, which is just a crime. Maybe she'll be a professional wrestler. We'll see what happens. But hopefully she does. We need her to get a scholarship. That's what she needs to do. She needs to get a scholarship. So anyways, there's the 2 figures, the 2 AEW champs. We've got them right here. We do know Ty Conte is coming. Nyla Rose is coming. I got to assume we're going to get Vicky Guerrero one of these days. We'll get a lot more female figures, but we know they're going to be mixed out. They're not going to be every single series, I don't anticipate. I know a lot of people want female figures every single series. They want them all there, but people vote with their wallet. At the end of the day, it is a business, and unfortunately we see between all lines, the female figures peg warm pretty hard. It's just the case. I don't know what it is. I know I can put myself in little Kyle's shoes. When I was buying G.I. Joes, the female figures were only the last option for me. It just is what it is. That's the way I did it, and that's the way I played. I wanted my G.I. Joe guys, the girls. If I went to a Kmart and I had everybody, but hey, there's Zarana sitting there, I'd say, well, I have everybody. It's time to pick up Zarana. That's kind of how my mind operated. I don't know if kids are still doing that to this day. I'm sure it's gotten better. But that's just what we see. I see that. I mean, you see Miss Elizabeth. I still see Brie Bella from a couple years ago on the shelf pegs. It's just the state of the business right now. And at the end of the day, it is a business. So we always got to remember that. But this Shida, it'll be interesting how well it goes. It is the best female figure from AEW Jazzwares so far. So I do think there's a chance for this one to sell. It'll depend how well it goes out on the store pegs. Is this going to be a heavily locked and loaded set at retail, or is it going to be a one and done set? There's a lot of unanswered questions there, but I think it will sell better than Rio. As much as Rio stole my heart over these last few months, I do think Shida will do better on the pegs, and I think better in most people's collections than Rio, unfortunately. But if you're a completist, you got to get them all. You guys know how it goes. And I know female wrestling figure completists that just get female wrestling figures. So good for you guys to get these ones as well. And Shida, obviously a champion for a year. I think it was right at a year, maybe a little bit over a year. So she definitely needs to be represented in figure form. It'll be interesting, when will we get our next Shida figure? I don't foresee it to happen anytime soon, but I guess you never know. Jazzwares likes to keep us guessing. Maybe we'll get it somewhere in the future. Maybe we'll get a 2-pack with Dr. Britt Baker. Who knows what'll happen with Shida. But I'm happy to have it. She's a welcome part of our collection. AEW champion after all, and right here with her cohort Rio. I'm sure her and Rio have wrestled before, but boy, that would be a match for the ages. That might tell us who the ultimate peg warmer is. The loser is the ultimate peg warmer. Maybe they should run that match on one of the Dynamite episodes. Call it the Kyle Peterson Peg Warming Invitational. I think it makes a lot of sense. So maybe one of these days we'll see what happens. But there it is. There is Shida. On the channel, AEW Unrivaled Series 6 concludes with Jake Hager. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel as we conclude AEW Unrivaled Series 6 with Jake Hager. Jake Hager, a wrestler with no stranger to wrestling figures, as Mattel did make a few elites and quite a few basics of Jake over the years, back in the old Jack Swagger persona. But today we're looking at his first ever AEW Unrivaled figure, and we will compare it to one of the Mattels, my favorite Mattel one, I guess we'll say. We'll compare it, and I do think we'll get more Jakes in the future. And in Unrivaled Series 6, we got 2 Jake Hagers in a way, as we got the 1 of 3,000 Chase version, and there's that one right there if you have not seen that in the past. I was lucky enough to be randomly selected, I guess we'd say, to get this in my Ringside Collectibles Unrivaled Series 6 set. That's how they're doing it via Ringside now. I do like that aspect. I do wish we could straight buy them sometimes, because that would be a lot cheaper than eBay, I think, as well. But I'm happy I got lucky finally. As we know, the prior sets they've sold, they went to the second and third wave of the shipments, not the first. So for the first time, the first wave finally got some chases. And that's how it should be. It should be in Series 1, Series 2, Series 3 waves. We should be able to get chases in all those, I would think. I would hope that happens and continues to happen in the future. But this Jake Hager, pretty solid, actually. I'm not sure which one I like more. I do like the Guns N' Roses inspired t-shirt on this one. I think that is a pretty solid idea. But I'm definitely not opening this one up if there's any questions there. I'm not going to open up any of these Chase Rare Editions. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these Chase Rare Editions either, as I'm not a mint on card completist with my AEW figures anymore, as you guys are aware. I'm moving to just a loose set, but I will get these and I will keep these mint on card. But I'm even second guessing. I was going to say, hey, I'll get all these Rare and Chase editions, but there's going to be so many of them, as we know. But why do I need all of them? Unless I had a total mint on card set, I don't really need a mint on card Chase Rare Edition set. I don't know. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this line anymore. I'm definitely going all in. I'm going to have a loose set across the board, but I'm not going to open these. I'm not going to turn one of these down. If I see them in a store, I'm going to pick them up. But do I need to be a completist with these? I'm thinking no. My mindset has changed a little bit. I don't know. I got to sleep on it for a while. I got to figure out what I'm doing. As of right now, prior series, I'm missing, I think, Matt Hardy and Hangman Page, the rare Chase editions. I think I have everything else besides that. The Jericho, 1 of 5,000 from this series, I have not gotten yet. Hopefully I'll find that in the pegs. That would be awesome. Hopefully that happens. But I got to take a long look in the mirror and see what I want to do with this AEW collection. I might just be very content just having a loose set. That might be all I need. But like I said, we'll see. But we're going to do it like we normally do in this video. We're going to take a look at the packaging on Jake Hager here. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We'll compare it to a Mattel, and we'll see where it goes from there. But there he is, old Jake Hager. He's got his hoodie on. He's all ready to go. He looks like he might be thinking about robbing a bank, possibly. Who knows? But he does have his hoodie up over his head, kind of making you not be able to see his face, of course. So it's a little weird placement. I think I would have preferred in-package hoodie down. I guess if out-of-package you want to display him with hoodie up, you can. But why hide that figure? So we'll see. We know the packaging by now. We've seen it a lot in this series. It's all uniform. We love it. Got the AEW logo up top, Unrivaled. You got Jake Hager, a little glamour shot right there. He's number 46 in line 6. Series 6, AEW logo. AEW logo. Warnings on the bottom. I'm not going to read those to you, of course. Then on the back, you get a big glamour shot of him in the ring. This is from the night he wrestled, and we'll read what that is. Promoting the rest of Series 6 down below. What event is this from? This is from Revolution 2/29/2020. Right before the world fell apart, basically. Chicago, Illinois. And, man, that's a lazy signature up there. JH. That's it. Can't write anything out. Can't do any more than that, I guess. I don't know. Looking at the package, I don't really see anything. You know, he doesn't have any wrist tape, elbow pads, knee pads. I think that's a common complaint of collectors out there. He's missing that. I don't know, are they trying to hybrid him a little bit between his MMA? Is that kind of what this is supposed to represent to me a little bit? Maybe his MMA walkout gear. We know he had a match with Wardlow in the cage. You know, he was kind of, especially early days of AEW, he's a cage fighter. He's an MMA guy. You know, that's kind of his gimmick, I guess we'd say. So that kind of represents it here. You don't see a lot of knee pads and arm pads and stuff like that on MMA fighters. I get it's a wrestling figure, but maybe that's the way it is. But then this one, I guess there's really no excuse. That flies out the window because this is definitely Inner Circle, Jake Hager. So, I don't know. Take it for what it is, I guess, and we'll unbox it here. Let's see what we think about it. See what we think about it out of the package. That's the real question. If I can get it out of the package. There it is. See you later. Pop him out. Oh, we got the greasiness. Oh, that back. Oh, my gosh. Greasy City. Let me wipe it off in the package here. See you later off to the side. We saw this, wasn't it, Penta that was super greasy in Series 6? I don't know why Jake Hager's greasy mess, but he is. How about a little plastic prison? The greasiest plastic prison you'll ever see. He just got out of KFC. He got a big bucket of chicken. He got coleslaw. He got himself some mashed potatoes. And, of course, had to get some biscuits there. But, you know, I heard Jake Hager, when he gets biscuits at KFC, he doesn't go with the butter. He goes with the honey. And that's a smart move. I really prefer the honey at Popeyes to the Popeye biscuits. But KFC's got an okay biscuit as well. It's the OG. It's the original. I grew up on that one. So I never shy a KFC biscuit. But I think a Popeyes one narrows it out. But you got to go honey, I think. We're going to pop him out. Let's see. Oh, greasy mess. My hand's just disgusting. I need paper towels at the ready at all times here. Pop the hands out. See you later. Get that greasy mess as I wipe my hands off before I touch this figure. All right, so I guess I didn't realize this is like an actual hoodie on the... Oh, no, it's not. It's got Velcro on the back. All right, we busted him out here, and I'm taking a quick look here. He's got some gloss to him. It is some of that grease. So I don't know what this China factory grease is. I don't know if it's going to cause cancer on me or what. I'm not exactly sure. He's got all kinds of plastic stuff on him. He's got the plastic wrap around the arms. Very interesting. The hoodie is on. It does Velcro in the back like we're accustomed to. I'm going to yank all that off. See what we look like here. There it is. It looks so weird with the hoodie off. He's all taped up. It looks like he's got tape or he's got saran wrap all over him. Maybe he's trying to cut weight before the big fight. I'm not exactly sure. He even has a hat on his head. Very cool. Uh-oh. We do got staining, though, unfortunately. Very unfortunate here. We got staining, and that's why this plastic wrap or whatever is on here to supposedly prevent that staining. But I'm not sure what help that does to prevent the staining when it's still stained through it. And then what are you supposed to just leave that on for the rest of the figure's life, I guess? I don't know. But I'm getting all this saran wrap off. I appreciate what they're trying to do there, but I just don't like it, especially on the arms and face and stuff, like that Orange Cassidy that one time. I hate being able to see this stuff through the window of the figure. I wish it was more hidden, which I guess this one is hidden with the coat on. I'm going to have this coat on him anyways, so I guess the staining doesn't really bother me, but I could see a lot of people being worked up about the staining. Jeez, there it is. Get that off. Mine's not as bad as I've heard others have been really, really bad. I got just one little scuff right at the top of the shoulder, and if I move his arm up, it hides it even, so mine is definitely not as bad as some out there. But, man, I can tell you what, his elbow is hot garbage just like the rest. I mean, that is too flimsy. That is way too flimsy. I don't know. I don't know. That's disappointing. I'm hoping, and we've talked about it ad nauseum in these reviews of Series 6, I hope they can figure that stuff out. I hope they can find a way to fix that. I even have a little indentation on the thigh, or the calf here, right on the shin. It's got actually like a little slice cut kind of to it, so I don't know what that would have came from. Kind of an indentation into the plastic. It's an interesting color scheme to him. It's almost gray. He's almost got a gray skin tone to him. It's not terrible, but it does look a little strange to me. And a little gray and a little glossy, and then his face is really gray too, almost like he's turning into a zombie, possibly. I don't know. I don't think he's definitely going to be at the top of my list when we rank all these guys at the end of the video. Boy, we do got some weak knee joints on this one as well. So I just wish some of the knees, elbow joints on these would be a little bit stronger. I know I'm a broken record, but man, that's how I see it. He does have very bright hair. He's got more of a blonde hair as far as I remember off the top of my head. When I think Jake Hager, I guess Jack Swagger was very blonde. Jake's more natural. It's a little red, but it's more blondish red, so I think they're a tad dark on here. I'm not really offended by that a whole lot. I still look at this and I look in the face. I say, well, that's Jake Hager. I know who it is. I can tell right away. I do love he comes with both fisted hands. You guys know I think every wrestler should come with at least one fisted hand. And he's got an open hand for each. So that's the way I prefer my figures, my wrestling figures, all figures actually for that matter. I'm good with that. The soft good is really good. Best thing is, I think they say you can put it in like a little water vinegar solution and kind of get some of that dye out of there. You can also put it in one of those gentle garment bags. I know Rick Rudegate from SummerSlam series last year with the Elites of 2020, that was a big concern, a big problem with it staining the plastic. I wish they could figure this out, maybe clean these or do something before to make that not happen, but I could just see Mattel or Jazzware say, well, you know what, we just won't give you soft goods, we'll give you the plastic good shirts, and that doesn't work either. But, you know, you get the Threadheads of the world, some of these third-party companies, they don't seem to have the dye issue. So I don't know, there's got to be something going on there that needs to be fixed from all companies across the board. It's not just wrestling figures that have this issue, I've seen it in other figures as well. But we got all the usual articulation with these Jazzware figures. I'm not going to run through that. You guys are aware of it. But this Jake Hager figure, it's all right. I know some people were really down on it from what I've heard and seen online. Outside of the things I'm down on as far as a whole as the AEW figures is just being the elbow joints being extremely loose and dangerous, I feel. This one's not terrible. Yes, the hair could have been a little lighter. Yes, he could have had knee pads. Yes, I wouldn't have liked the staining on it. But it still looks like Jake Hager. It's his first representation in the line, or you can count this one as first, whatever you want to say. This is his first go-around in the line. They will improve on him, and I always say, vote with your wallet. If you're not happy with this Jake Hager, don't pick him up. Don't be like me and buy him. Don't pick him up. Wait for the next one. That's what you got to do. And I'm sure there's going to be more Jake Hagers. I think about every person will have something in an unmatched, unrivaled. They'll be in 2-packs, 4-packs. Everybody's going to get multiple figures over time. We've seen how many figures they're pumping out over just the last year from Jazzwares. It's going to ramp up, and we're going to have even more figures I've been talking about on the channel a lot. So don't be surprised there. We'll get another Jake Hager out there. I just hope we get some stands for these figures. When's that going to come? I'm surprised we haven't gotten stands yet. So hopefully soon, because these guys need something to stand on. Just like the Elites have stands via ringside, we need something for Jazzwares as well. So there it is, Jake Hager. All right, let's finish up the Unrivaled Series 6 video. We're going to rank him in my order of my favorite to my least favorite in Series 6. And as a whole, I don't want to call Series 6 a disappointment, but it is probably the least exciting, least anticipated set we've had so far. We understand some of the reasonings for that. COVID put a wrench in a lot of things. They had a lot of wrestlers that they wanted to scan for head sculpts that they could not do because of COVID, which made us get a lot of repaints and re-releases in the Jazzwares sets a little earlier than they probably anticipated, but by no means will Jazzwares not give us multiples of every figure. That's going to happen. I think it just happened a little bit soon, and I think Series 6 was one of the main issues of the COVID problem that they talked about. It just makes sense to me that's the case. And then Series 6 gets a little bit of hate out there online because of everybody has very similar outfits across the board. So that's an interesting thing. I think it just worked out that way. I don't know if it was necessarily planned that way, but I think it just worked out that way. But let's get down to it. Let's go in order. I'll give a quick discussion here. Number one for me, I don't think there was a surprise for any of you guys out there. Face paint, masks, tattoos, lucha libre, Penta gets the Duke for me. He is number one. I mean, toyetic, What do I love in figures? Of course he's going to be number one. Very solid repaint of the one we got before, which is an amazing figure as well. It's really hard to mess these figures up. In Penta's case, that's for sure. Number two, maybe a little bit of a surprise. Rey Fenix, number two. His brother, obviously, in the Death Triangle and Lucha Brothers, all that fun stuff. Once again, masked, tattooed, a very solid looking figure. I just like the brightness of the tattoos compared to the last Rey Fenix we got. So we get a point of difference there. And then they have the matching outfits as well. So it puts them at number 1 and 2. That was probably an easy decision. You guys probably were not surprised by that either. But number 3, Shida, joining my girl Rio. I like this Shida figure. It's funny is I always imagine this figure whenever I think about it. I felt it came with a kendo stick, but it does not. But it seems like it does. So I don't know. It's a really weird thing. But I'll definitely find a kendo stick somewhere in my collection. I'm probably going to give it to her for when I have her on display. But we don't get very many female figures so far. This is the 3rd female we've gotten in 6 series. We'll see what is to come. We know Nyla Rose is coming very soon. We're going to get more female figures. But Shida, a very good improvement over Rio. Rio Chase Edition, Rare Edition, was an awesome figure. The Peg Warmer Rio, the face is a little rough out there, and that's why we see her on the pegs. It'll be interesting who will be off the pegs first. Will Shida or Rio be off the pegs? I don't think Shida's going to set the world on fire by any means, but I think it'll be interesting who sells out first, Rio or Shida. We'll know that answer here in the next month or two, that's for sure. Number 4, Chris Jericho. No stranger to figures across the board. There's been so many Chris Jericho figures, it's unbelievable. But Jericho back in the AEW line. A little plain Jane here. Just a title belt and a scarf. You know, he's got some crazy Painmaker costume, stuff like that we could go with. I'm sure we'll get him eventually. But just kind of a plain Jane Jericho. I do like the tattoo work on this one. It was really vibrant, really looks good. You can decipher what's on here. So I do like that a lot on the Jericho. So that's why he comes in at number 4. Number 5, 6 really could have went either way, but number 5 is going to be MJF. Really, I'm not sure why they couldn't have at least thrown the scarf in here. They've already had it made. They could just easily throw another one in here. I think they should have done that to give this something. I could see this to be one of the peg warmers there because there's not a lot of meat on the bones between that one and the last one, and I think people will skip this one. So that's why he's down here so low at number 5. And number 6, Jake Hager would probably be maybe inch above MJF. They're still pretty close, but the soft goods staining the plastic is very unfortunate. The hair being just a tad off is unfortunate. Missing elbow pads, knee pads is unfortunate. So there's some mistakes here they could have done better on. I don't mind the hoodie jacket thing he came with. I think that's pretty cool, except that stains the figure. Obviously, that's not very cool. But there'll be some more Jake Hagers in the future. There'll be another chance to right this wrong, but there's no getting away from him being last in my lineup. But what say you out there, viewer? Do you agree with this lineup? Do you have this same lineup in your favorite to least favorite? You guys tell me your order and how you see it, and who you're hoping to see in a future Unrivaled or Unmatched series. Let me know. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram, and of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Support the channel. So for Unrivaled, Series 6 by Jazzwares, I'm Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.